Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the love of the challenge. I am your host, Robert Stewart Jr., and today is definitely a special occasion because we're not only going to talk about the state of the challenge because I am concerned, but who's joining me today, none other than Fresh Meat 2 contestant Brandon Nelson. How you doing this evening, sir?
I'm good, man. I woke up this morning, so I can't complain. I shouldn't complain, but I could, but I won't.
Oh, that's excellent. You can't complain because you in Vegas. I'm in St. Louis. It's freezing. We got ice, sleet. So
Oh no, hey, it was the high today was like 38. Like you don't know if it want to be spring or summer or fall or winter or none of them, but it is what it is.
right, it is what it is, and you in some excellent weather out there though. Because when my cousin moved out there to Vegas, I was just like, more power to you. I wish I can be there with you, but I will be in Vegas soon enough. The state of the challenge. I'm concerned with the state of the challenge, especially with the announcement of CBS joining forces, and it looks like they're going to have a new War of the Worlds, which I'm like, okay, wait a minute, we just got finished doing War of the Worlds. What is your thinking of what's going on now with the state of the challenge?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of biased. I mean, I've said this on a few podcasts before and a couple of interviews before. If I'm not on it, or Leroy's not on it, or the people that I really mess with, if they're not on it, I'm usually not watching it. But I mean, as far as the state of the challenge, it's funny because early on when we were number one, which I think we are again as well. It was like um, other shows that you would do auditions for didn't want to mess with you because you were like, oh, well, you were on the challenge, so you can't be on Big Brother, you can't be on this show, that show, or whatever. And I have friends from all of those different shows. We'll do events together, and you have like a whole reality event, and then you'll meet people from Amazing Race. Like Louis, one of my brothers, Lawan. I'm forgetting some names from other reality shows or whatever. But at first we were like, we can't cross contaminate basically. Now it's a free for all. You got people from shows I've never heard of, especially like the international shows or whatever, which I'm not opposed to. But as far as the state of the challenge, um, I'm not a big fan. I don't like it. I think a little bit, maybe more than a little bit of the nostalgia of the challenge has been lost because it went from the real world road rules challenge, and then it became the challenge. But the way you had to get on it was because you had to either be on the real world or the road rules, which I got lucky because I was on the Fresh Meat too. So I was never on the real world or the road rules, but I was supposed to be on road rules. No, I was supposed to be on the challenge Cancun. But with that being said, I'm open for everybody to, jump in and do whatever they can do to represent it the right way. But I feel like a lot of people they're just getting on because they have followers, they have social media, and they didn't really earn their right. A lot of people like me that were on there from the beginning, not the very beginning, but in that development time,
Mhm.
feel the same way to where it's like, all right, what did you do to get on? Because every time somebody recognizes me, they'll say, well, what railroad were you on? You have to be on the railroad to be on the challenge. No, I was on Fresh Meat too. I was supposed to be on the railroad, which kind of leads into the people that are on now. They didn't have to really do anything, you know what I'm saying? But I went through the process and I was cast, but then held back. But as far as the climate of the challenge now, I think it's more of a show than a competition like it was before, if that makes any sense. I feel like it's just it's leaning towards more the dramatic part of it versus the actual competition and actually winning. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, and I could see that because man, just like I was telling them, we see how Carmaria has dominated the challenge from beginning to where she was.
That's my girl. She'll tell you, you can hit her up right now. She'll tell you right now. I was her first friend and first defense on Fresh Meat too. Like she'll tell you, man, we clicked really, really quick because people were picking on her and messing with her. And she got eliminated after the first episode with Darrell. But we still, man, and we did, several, seasons after that. But we still talk from time to time. But yeah, Cara is cool people. She's really misunderstood, but now she's really getting into her own to where it's like she doesn't care what you say. She used to be really concerned and a little insecure about what people thought about her, and she just really does not, and pardon my French, give a fuck about any of that anymore.
And that's excellent. So since you've been there and you've seen it up close in person, what's your view of her now since she's become one of the most dominant females in challenge history?
Well, I would say my view of her. I mean, I know how it goes with editing and your performance and what you do. Once you become a vet, you know things that will get you more airtime. You know the plays you need to make, and you just know, like, not even on top of that though, because me and her, we're a lot alike in that we'd rather just run through a wall than to talk to you all day and do that political game. It's like, okay, so she really took it upon herself with the CrossFit thing and just getting in shape to where she's like, okay, I'm gonna talk my shit and I'm gonna dominate you. So the only thing I would say, because like I said, we don't talk every day, not even every month. But I do like her progression. I do like her evolution. I like that she's broken out of her shell. I do think that there are some things that she is, a little braggadocious and arrogant about, what she should be, but it comes off a certain way, especially when you're only getting the peaks, not the valleys of that aspect of her character. Because when we're on screen, it's not scripted, but there it is edited. You know what I'm saying? They don't tell us what to say, they don't tell us what to do. But at the same time, it's like they're gonna take those peaks and just make you, whatever it is they want to make you, and then people can buy into it and they can, get more face time and they can get more screen and especially when you backing it up, when you whooping people ass like she does, it's like, how can you really refute it? But the only thing I would say, I'm proud of her because from when I first met her in Whistler on Fresh Meat 2, she has evolved into who she is now, and people know her name. You know what I'm saying? It's not like like she's definitely made. She's self-made, and that's one thing I like about people that I fuck with. Like if you're just self-made, you do your own thing against all odds. Because she was an underdog. She got sent home the first episode.
Yeah,
She was never supposed to come back, and
right.
she's been killing it. So I can't you can't deny it.
Yeah, you can't deny she's definitely a dominant. She's one of my favorites. Will still always be my favorites. That shout out to Carmen Maria because you definitely
Oh yeah,
have
definitely. Yeah,
impressed.
absolutely.
Because I mean, I brag about it all the time because just to see it from day one and watching it, see her progression and grow, it's just been remarkable. Now, I want to kind of talk about you for a second because
Just do it.
you you came in at Fresh Meat, Cutthroat. You kind of separated yourself. You got thrown in. I don't know half the season. You lose to maybe one of the most dominant guys that's around. Derek, he wasn't no slouch. That was
Yeah.
a true heavyweight bout. What was your feelings going into Cutthroat? Did you think that it was going to be that difficult going in?
Um, I was kind of on the fence because that was just my second season. So I actually got a text message the morning of the premiere of Fresh Meat 2 from one of the producers, and I'll keep her name quiet because a lot of things happened. I think she was a talent coordinator, but anyway. Um, but I got, because I thought I was done. I had Caitlin as a partner. I didn't really
Right.
get to perform. We got eliminated really early. Um, it was just, I'm all over the place. And then get back to the crib. And then of course, they have to edit the season and do all that stuff. So, you're never gonna see it until, 3-4 months later. But we got an email about when the season premiere was gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
And then the morning, because I had something set up at a little small bar. At the time, I was still living back at home in Arkansas. Shout out Little Rock, Jacksonville. And I was getting ready for that, and I got a text saying, "Are you available for this next season?" And I damn near jumped out my window. I'm like, yes, that was the one for Cutthroat. So I go to the premiere that night, and I'm like, maybe like 200 or 300 people there, whatever. But we drinking, having fun, eating, whatever. And then I go back home, go to sleep. I get back up the next day and immediately go back to the gym. So for that second season for Cutthroat, I was super excited, but off of the experience on Fresh Meat 2, I was like, it's really not that hard. That's what I'm thinking. It is really hard, but it's more so, well, at the time anyway, who you know, not what you can do. Because little known fact, I've said it before on other interviews, but even on Fresh Meat 2, whenever Caitlin got hurt in our challenge or whatever, Wes came to me because Wes, who did he have as a partner? I forget. But Wes, and then
Are you talking about Rivals, or are you talking about Fresh Meat 2?
I'm talking about Fresh Meat 2. So Wes had, who did he have?
Who did he have? I can't remember.
Okay, who did I know Luke and damn, what's the girl that came in late?
No,
Evelyn. So it was Luke and Evelyn, and then
Right.
Wes and
who did he have? Oh, what's that girl name? Is it Casey? Did he have
no.
Casey? It wasn't Casey.
No.
I can't even remember right now. I can't.
But either way, they were in cahoots on that vote, and Wes kept telling me, he was like, "Man, tell Caitlin to stop with this injury thing, because no offense, but y'all are possibly the weakest team on the cast right now. And what we're going to do is, because he already talked to Kenny and was like, we're going to carry you to the final because we know we can beat you. At the same time, you're going to get more camera time, you're going to get a little bit more money, and you're going to make it to a final." And I was like, bet. Caitlin still opts to go to the hospital and all this stuff and this and that. So now I'm thinking, like, had it not been for that, I could have, gotten a little bit, further, and maybe made a better name for myself. So as we're going into the second season, going into Cutthroat, I'm like, I'm going to train my ass off, and I'm going to be fine, because this first one wasn't really that hard. Only thing is the water. Mm-hmm. It's just the water. So once we get in the Cutthroat, I'm like, this first time I got a 6-pack, and since I've been playing ball in college, and I'm feeling good. So, and then even after I get my team, I'm kind of like, all right, red team, my favorite color. We can talk about the Camilla thing. We talked about that on the last podcast. I don't know if you want to get into that, her comments or whatever about
we're gonna talk about that a little later. Let me ask you this question before you go on, because Brittany Renee had a quick question, and this is what I've always wondered too, especially going into that elimination. Did you know that you was going to get DQ'd for the drinking?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know it was going to be for the drinking, but I let everybody know the night before that we weren't going to compete. So I talked to Sydney and CJ the night before, because they got voted in. Because that's why Wes was telling me, he was like, dude, tell Caitlin to back up and stop with the whole I'm injured shit, because in my mind, I'm like, technically, because she was the first transgendered person to be on the challenge, and all that good stuff, which I didn't give a damn about none of that. My thing is, I'm like, well, technically, I got 2 dudes on my team, so shit, we should be straight at least halfway through this thing. That's just how I was thinking. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. But anyway, it sounds so crazy to say out loud. So she still, was like, I can't. So then once she told me, like that night, she told me, she was like, I got crutches, my knee's messed up, it's not worth it for me to do it, I'm not doing it. But she only told me. So then I went to Sydney, I went to CJ, and that's why I got so drunk that night and the next morning, because I was like, I said, yo, we're not gonna do a damn elimination. Like, no matter what, unless it's a puzzle, we're not doing nothing. So we knew we had to go to a mountain. So I'd already conceded prior to that. Production knew. They made it seem like it was a thing, like, you know, so that's why when I got up in the morning, they had to pack my bags for me because the night before, I don't know if you remember, like I was running around the house naked.
Yeah, I
I,
remember.
I passed out on, I don't know how I got back to the top bunk where I was staying, but they was like, yo, like we gotta get your bags packed. And I was like, go ahead. Because my clothes was everywhere. I'm like, you want to let me stay another day? All right, cool. Get after it. So we get everything packed up, and then as they're doing that, that's when it happened. Like they said, get dressed. So I got dressed. I go downstairs to the kitchen, open up the refrigerator. I see a whole bunch of PBR from the night before, and I'm like, all right. And I put one in my pocket, and then I put one. I chugged one, and I put another one in the other pocket. So on the way to, I sound like an alcoholic for real.
Right.
But, no, I've backed off a lot. It's weed now. Don't worry. You can go leave it in. Don't edit it. So it's legal. It's legal.
Right.
So what, they put us in the van. Like they had us like blindfolds on and all that good stuff.
Right.
And then I'm drinking with a blindfold on. I don't know if they aired that. I'm not sure. So then we get to the start line. And me and TJ are cool now because, you know, TJ lives out here in Vegas as well.
Right. Right.
And yeah, I got to and I told them the entire drive there before I actually passed out in the van. I didn't pass out. I was just tired. But I told them, I'm like, you know, we're not doing anything. I was like, I don't know why y'all are doing this. Like, this is a waste of money, time, production. Like, just take me to the plane. Like, I'm done. Because plus, I was mad because, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This bitch was the night before was like, I'm not going to do anything tomorrow. So I'm like, why in the hell are y'all talking to me about anything when I just want to party and get everything out of my system before I go back home, which could possibly be the only show that I'm ever on because I got partnered with this bitch. So anyway, we get to the start line and I told them, I'm like, I told CJ and Sydney the night before, I said, once we pass that start line, once TJ blows that horn, I'm going to step across the start line because I want y'all to see what the elimination is because you might have to revisit it because it was on like third elimination or something like that. You might have to come back and do the same one. I was like, and y'all cool people. Y'all been cool with me. So if y'all can see it and then get back to it, or you could tell somebody else to play a little political game, you got it. But I know I'm going home. I'm mad, sad, depressed. I don't give a fuck. I just want to get drunk and get out of here because I can't do anything else for anybody. So then we're standing there. We're standing there. But it lasted a lot longer than what was aired. But we're standing there. And then TJ comes up and he's like, all right, guys, this is going to be the elimination, blah, blah, blah. You got to hike up this mountain, blah, blah, blah. There's a checkpoint here for a puzzle here and this and that. And I'm just sitting there like, all right. And she's literally standing there on crutches. CJ and Sydney are looking at me, grinning like this motherfucker ain't finna do a damn thing. And I'm like, I know. So anyway, he blows the horn. I literally step across the line and I go sit down. I'm like, so then they're like, cut. We got to talk. So all production and TJ, they go and talk. They're gone for like 20 minutes. They come back. I'm laying on the ground, like, can I get the rest of my beer? Because they took it from me when we got out the van. I was like, I need that. So no, they came back over and they were like, okay, we're gonna roll. And so they rolled again, and the TJ goes, unfortunately, one of our competitors, you know, bro, you know the whole spiel that they aired or whatever, but it wasn't anything that wasn't unknown. I said it the night before, I said it on the way there, I said it when we got there.
Right.
It did make for a decent little TV moment, but it wasn't like a surprise for anybody where I'm like, oh, before I climb this mountain, let me chug a beer. Like, no, no.
Wait a minute. How long did it actually take then? What was this, like a few hours, 4 hours, 5 hours?
It was about an hour and a half.
Okay, because they made it seem like it was just boom, boom, boom. So that's the magic of editing for real.
Yeah, because the thing is, the night before, I let it be known, and we're always mic'd up, so I can hear everything I'm saying.
Right.
And I said, okay, Caitlin's hurt, because when everybody got back to the house but her. She's still at the hospital, and I said, we're done. And then once we got, because I just started drinking immediately. If you'll remember, I'm at the pool table, and then Sydney comes over and starts talking to me. I'm like, I got you. I'm gonna let you know what we do. I was like, we're not gonna compete. Caitlin's hurt. I know I'm going home. No big deal. That's why I got so drunk. That's why I ran around the house naked like a dumbass. And that's why I drank the morning of. And that's why I drank on the whole way to the fucking elimination. And that's why I drank at the start line. Everybody knew. And as loud as I am right now, I was louder then. So no, it was they knew. It's just about editing, but you know, it's a good thing too, because I mean, a lot of people still ask me about that. And no, I'm not embarrassed about it. I don't think about it until somebody brings it up. But yeah, I mean, it's like shit. You got some free shit you can get away with because you know you're finna be out in the first place. That's just like saying, that's like your boss telling you, hey, you know you're getting fired in the morning, but you know all the shit in the back you can take until we fire you for real.
Right.
Say less.
Like you ain't said nothing but a word. So
I'm taking all these buns. I'm taking all these frozen patties.
right now, did you have any regrets with Cutthroat or anything? Do you ever look back and say, well, if I did this, this could have happened, or such and such?
Regrets. That's a strong word because I was an English major in college. But I mean, a roundabout way, yes, I will say that I did have some regrets. I should have been more outspoken about my position and what I brought to the team, because my team ultimately ended up winning, right? So, but off of the back of whom? This guy. And I won't get off 10 of my toes for that. Because it's like, you put me, anytime we won a challenge,
Right.
everybody was happy. Anytime we lost the challenge, who was going in?
You were. 100%. They had you already marked. Yeah, we throwing Brandon in. That's a wrap.
Yeah. And I won the first three. Was it 3 or 4? I don't even remember.
4 because you lost to Derek.
To Derek, because it's but it's like I'm going in and I'm still, and even TJ commented, it was like, right, you guys are arguably throwing in the strongest guy on your team every time. And then the excuse was, well, Brad, bitch ass, and I'll say that straight up. And we've talked since then. We've talked since then. But I will not back off the fact that it was still a bitch move. And you know, it's happened over the years for everybody. It's nothing personal, but in the game of competition is like, that was some bitch ass shit. And then he had Tori in his ear, and that's a whole nother conversation. Right. But at the same time, it's like, okay, somebody's telling you got somebody that can probably carry you to the end and then win, and you keep throwing them in. Well, you know, I remember what he said too, because I still carry this. This isn't, we're trying to win a game or win a competition. He said something like that, but I remember what he said. He said, this isn't Rent-A-Friend. Right. Rent-A-Friend or something like that. Oh, I'm trying to be your fucking friend. There are only a handful of people that I even still communicate with outside of the show, and I've been on the show for 10 years. I just met him. I'm just trying to win money. But for him to do that, I understand he has that loyalty to his wife at the time, and they're not even together no more. And then you get all this other little stuff going on. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I love Melinda. I love Chet, you know, even though our political views are way different, but Chet's the homie. Who else did I have? I had Camilla. We'll talk about that in a minute. Right. Who was that? Who am I missing? Because that's some people on some other teams that was really cool too that I still talk to. But anyway, right. Mandy's good people. But it's just like, I'm on more of a performance-based point system versus a political, or, well, you're a rookie and I'm a vet. And I think that's the shift as well too, with the new cats that are on the show now. Like, I've always said, and it doesn't make air, but I've said it a million times, we gotta go straight at bananas. Oh yeah. And by that I mean the vets, the people that win all the time. I love CT. We got to go at them. The same people can't win all the fucking time. It's a game. It's a competition. That's like, let's say me and you boys, but I'm in the Eastern Conference and you're in the Western Conference, and we meet up in the playoffs. Hey, I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna dap you up before the tip off, but after that, I'm going for your head.
Right.
So it's like nah. Like and afterwards we'll shake hands. I'm gonna lose or whatever. But it's like these motherfuckers take this game outside of the game. And some of it's their faults, because some of them had some kids before, they done hooked up, they done done all this other little stuff. They ain't got shit to do with me. So don't bring that over to my game and my way of playing. So if I do get back on, or when I do get back on, it's gonna be a whole different ball game.
So this is gonna lead me into this. Before we get to the whole Camilla thing, we are gonna actually,
we got to address that.
We're gonna address that, but I want to talk about what almost got me to stop watching the challenge.
Stop watching like altogether?
Yes, Battle of the Seasons. I gotta go back. One of my worst seasons I ever seen.
That was a terrible season.
Yes, it was, because y'all came in the middle of it. And y'all get thrown in like every 5 minutes. I said, wait a minute. How's the vets getting thrown in like every 5 minutes? And all these rookies are running the game. And this is what I told Ashley. I said, that literally almost made me quit watching altogether. And if it wasn't for Rivals 2, I would have ended up probably quitting right then and there. So explain to me what was going on, because you was there. I mean, it was a lot of drama going on, and I remember because they still show it on Pluto TV like it ain't nothing, and I'm just like, this is the worst season. I cannot sit down and watch this season ever again, like straight through.
I don't know how many eye rolls I had, because one of my fans put in like a thread. There was like the whole time, you were just like this the whole season.
Right.
Anytime anybody would talk. Okay, so if I'll break down Battle of the Seasons, it'll mostly break down to actually give me 2 seconds. Are you gonna edit this or no? Is this live?
Yeah, I can edit it. It ain't no biggies, but you
okay, no, just give me 2 seconds. I just gotta grab this real quick. Hold on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just a little 2 second gap.
Okay.
All right, my bad. But if I could break down Battle of the Seasons, man, it wasn't a good season. And of course, we were thrown in at the last minute. I can remember the phone call that I got, because I was an alternate to be on the season. So what they do is they'll give you a call, a few months out, and they'll say, "Are you available for these dates?" And then they'll call you back and say, "You're on the cast, and we're going to send you a contract." Or they'll say, "You're an alternate. Are you still available for these dates?" Great. So basically, that's just insurance for them. So if some shit fucks up, they'll take the alternates and throw them in. So that's what happened with me, Carr, Big Easy, and Camilla.
Right.
So I was with Leroy. We were at a barbecue party. We were in the backyard. We're just sitting out there chilling. And I get a call. Anytime I see an 818 number, I know where it's coming from. So I answered like, "Hey, can you be on a plane tomorrow afternoon?" I'm like, "I'm drunk as hell. Yeah, sure." Leroy's like, "Let's go." So he throws me in the car, takes me back to the apartment. We throw some shit in the bag, make sure I get to where I need to be. And then we show up to, where was that? Turkey. Okay. Yes. That was the first time we went to Turkey, because they went back there for another season for something, but we were in Turkey. Okay. Crazy thing is, the edit makes it seem like we just showed up and then just walked out of we were in a Rover. We were in a Range. Yeah, we were in a Range Rover.
Right.
And then just jumped out and went into the first challenge. They flew us in. We were there for like a week and a half.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they took us to a resort, a shitty resort. Well, shitty and resort is kind of an oxymoron, but whatever. They took us to this little spot. And we just sat there just waiting, like, what are we going to do? And getting to know each other a little bit, because remember, this is Camilla's second season.
Right.
And this is me and Carr's third. And me and Big Easy, we kind of got tight on that because we're both from the South. He's from Kentucky. I'm from Arkansas originally. So it actually did help us out. So then once they're like, all right, we're ready to roll, whatever, and they just come and pick us up and give us some jerseys, and they're like, we literally drove straight. Okay, so you know what? I'm out of contract. I'm gonna tell you something that nobody. Well, I might have told like 2 other people this. You can air it. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Cool.
So when we did Battle of the Seasons, we stopped at. And I can take another story too about me and Knight.
Oh,
But
yeah,
we did. When we did Battle of the Seasons, so like I said, they just came and picked us up. They've been coming and messing with us to make sure we were okay and all that stuff or whatever. So then they're like, all right, we're ready to roll. We're gonna go. So we're thinking we're gonna go into the house. Like they're gonna just take us into the house, and people are like, oh shit, like these people here, like blah, blah, blah. And you know, because they're gonna be like at least like 30 other people in there and that we've probably met before, and it's gonna be like this whole thing. And then the next day we might do a challenge or something like that. We didn't know we were going straight into a challenge. Mm-hmm. So we stopped at a convenience store. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, I gotta piss. Because the driver was like, because all the drivers are, native of wherever we are. Mm-hmm. And it's like, or indigenous, whatever you want to say. I don't know what's politically correct anymore. So like, we're just sitting there like, don't get out the car though. So she goes in, she's doing something, getting some gas or something like that. I'm gonna grab a little bite or whatever. And while I'm in there, I see, oh, y'all have liquor in here. Great. Because I think we're going to the house. Cool. I get a whole 5th of vodka and I get a whole liter of water. I dump the water out. Now, this is no lie. This is on both of my kids. I dump the water out after I buy it, of course. So I'm in the parking lot and we're in Turkey. Dump the water out, refill the water bottle with vodka, cap it, put it in my backpack, get back in the back seat of the van or the car that we were in. And they're like, all right, cool. So then so I'm like just halfway sipping on it as we're going. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be lit when we get to the house. So by the time we get to the dock, they stopped one more time because we have to switch cars, and they gave us jerseys and shit. I'm drunk. The first episode, I'm drunk. Because we pull up to the dock, I'm like, wait. They're like, no, we gotta go right now. We gotta compete right now. I was like, who gotta compete? It's like, we gotta compete. We gotta get into this white Range Rover, and then we're gonna pull around. Everybody's already waiting on you guys. We're behind time. Let's go ahead and get it. My God, tell me why I had to put on my jersey and all my shorts and stuff, and I'm like, okay, let me get this together. Like, I'm like, oh man. So then even just to get to the platform, luckily Big Easy shit the bed on that one. Because we had to swim out to the ladders before they even blew the horn and climb up and do that little like crosswalk thing or whatever. Right. When I tell you, I was drunk. That first episode?
Yes.
I was drunk.
Oh, that is hilarious. I gotta go back and look at that now. Oh, that is hilarious. My man was drunk on the challenge.
Yeah, I didn't know we were going to a straight challenge. I thought we were going to that's the PA's fault. That's the driver's fault and the PA's fault. But I thought we were going to the house. So I'm ready. I'm in party mode. I'm like, I got a night to recover. They're not going to take us. No, but they took us straight to a challenge, and I survived it.
How does it feel to compete drunk, man? That's what I want to
know. A lot less anxiety ridden. I mean that challenge to me wasn't that hard anyway. I mean, I could have done it drunk. I've done a lot more crazy shit drunk. So I would have been fine regardless, but Easy couldn't get up the ladder to even get up there to go across the thing. So yeah, no, I wasn't nervous about it. I was more concerned about the fact that, do they know I'm drunk? Am I going to get in trouble? Like what?
You would have probably got in trouble if they knew you was drunk.
Yeah, I was like, did I mess up? Like, but no, no, I wasn't worried about it because I mean, as soon as I got to the ladder, because I mean, like the swim, even just to get to the ladder. I mean, we had vests on and stuff.
Right.
The swim to get to the ladder was maybe like, you know, like 50 yards, something light. And once I got to the ladder, I'm like, all right, cool. So now we have to wait because you have to climb up, and then you have to, because like it was like a counterbalance kind of thing, if I remember correctly. And I was just like, as long as I get up there, I'm not really afraid of heights as long as I don't look down. Like I'll
Yeah.
jump off of anything, but if I look down, now we got a
Yeah.
problem. But
Yeah, it took me a while to get over heights. I remember when I was working at this cable company, they had us climb up on this pole, and quickly, right then and there, something happened where, okay, I'm no longer afraid of heights. So I got over that real quick, and then falling from like 15, 20 feet in the air without no protection. That was interesting too, because I could have broke my legs that day, but I didn't,
man,
luckily.
you could have lost your leg that day. Forget them
Yeah.
legs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because I mean, shoot, when I failed, it scared me. But when I landed, I said, "Okay, I'm good." So I'm
yeah,
alive.
yeah. Oh
So
yeah, that's all that matters. Yeah.
right. So let's talk about free agents because we're gonna get into Camilla here shortly.
Yeah,
'Cause
we can't forget
yeah,
that.
yeah, we ain't gonna forget that. So free agents was the last time we saw you. You went head up with Zach. He ran you over, brother.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I
I
gotta
knew
give
what
you
it was.
I gotta give you your props on that though, because not too many smaller guys is gonna go hit up with a 6'5", 6'8" type dude and get ran over just to the heck of it. So what was going through your mind when you was going through that elimination?
I knew I was going home. No, I mean, really, like, okay. So I tell you this. I tell you another little cool story. So, um, on free agents, me and Zach was actually pretty cool. We haven't talked since then, actually.
Okay.
Not nothing. No love lost or nothing like that. Like actually, when we first met on Battle of the Seasons, because we both played D1 ball, and
Hmm.
he was like, yo, we need to link up and act like we don't like each other. That way we can be on rivals together. I feel like, you're fast and I'm strong. We could, like he actually brought that to my attention and we talked about it, but it just didn't come to fruition. But no, Zach, good people, man. I don't know his interaction with other people. There's some people that might say different, but my interaction with him, I ain't got nothing bad to say about him.
Hmm.
But on that one, I knew it was coming. Like I don't even know how I knew it, but I just knew it was coming. Like as soon as I got voted in,
Hmm.
Swift, you a bitch.
Right, I remember that.
I'm say it again, Swift, you a bitch. Because I probably would have only lasted like maybe another couple episodes, but still, Swift, you a bitch. Because the thing about it is, the only reason I say Swift, you a bitch, and it's all fun and games.
Right.
I'm not disrespecting like that because that man's a man. You know what I'm saying? He did what he thought was right in the experience that he was having. But he was living in the room with CT, Zach, Leroy, like some of the biggest people that's ever been on the show, right?
Right. Right.
And it's his first one, second one. No, I think it was his first one. And you can be influenced by some heavy hitters. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad about that. It's just the fact that I warned him about it before, and I was trying to be an advocate for him and Jasmine because him and Jasmine had this thing going on. And me and Latoya was talking. We were like the fucking therapists. Like every other night, they would get drunk and just be like, "How come we can't?" And we're thinking about this. They're talking about like real life stuff outside of the show, and it's like, and we'd be like, and he'll pull me to the side, yo, B, like I said, I know Jazz, like she's good people. Like, if you want to like at least give it a shot, I mean, like she don't see it through, like all kind of little stuff. And then you let these motherfuckers that you live in the same room with that make fun of you every night.
Right.
Like they would just roast him every night. Like sometimes on some like borderline on the fence like racist shit, like on some
Mhm.
like I don't want to. I can't repeat anything that I don't know verbatim, so I'm not going to do that.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it was like some like And you still, it's only because it's the heavy hitters. I'm not gonna say names, because if I say names, I'm gonna associate that with what I just said before.
We already know
But
who the heavy hitters of the challenge during that time.
yeah, but if you in the room with them and they acting like they got you, they little broing you, and they tell you to do something, you're gonna do it. But I already warned them prior to this, and they ain't got your back. I said, you're gonna be the next one to go.
Yeah. And he was the next one.
And what happened?
He was the next one to go because he was a rookie. It wasn't no question about it. Swift coming into it.
No, it wasn't because he was a rookie. It's because he was dumb.
Yeah, but he's never played this level of game before. So,
but I tried to give it to him. But here's my thing. Okay, actually, you know what? Fuck all the cloak and all that. I'm gonna be very transparent with you. Very transparent with you. If I look like you and I tell you the truth, and I've already been there before,
right?
Who would you listen to first?
I would listen to you.
I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it right there.
Honestly, because even if you threw me in that particular predicament during that time, because that's one of my favorite seasons of free agents, I would have been listening to you.
Those are my favorite jerseys too. Those jerseys was
great. Those jerseys was tight. So
I sold one, but
that's good. That's a good jersey. I would have kept that one. But look, here's my take. If I'm thrown in the challenge with y'all, I already know this person's personality. I already know what he's gonna do out the gate. I already know what Johnny Bananas gonna do out the gate. I know you not on my side, okay? So I'm gonna play my part and like I'm with you, but really I'm not. I'm playing my own game. So if he flipped it during that time, maybe you looking at a different outcome.
It wasn't even that though. He came in as a fan.
Yeah.
He came in as a fan. And it was his first challenge, which I understand and I get. The problem that I have is I'm getting rid of that word, but it's like, my guy, you were on The Real World.
Right, he was on The Real World. I remember that.
Granted, you were one of one on there as well.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, you got a little bit of leverage when you come through. Granted, you might not know these challenger heavy hitters, but you know who they are because you're a fan, because that's how you got on. That's how I got on. Mm-hmm. I was supposed to be on The Real World Cancun.
Right.
I didn't get picked up. They brought me in for Fresh Meat too.
Right.
Cool. Now I'm in the fam. Well, whatever you want to consider that to be. But at the same time, it's like, if we having real conversations outside of the game of the challenge late night with a bottle of wine in both of our hands, and you over here with tears in your eyes talking about how you can figure this out with Jazz and this and that, and then when Toya coming over to me saying, Brandon, man, just go to sleep. This person can't he's not gonna figure it out right now, man. Y'all, just go lay down. Y'all been drinking too much, whatever. But I'm still there on time. And then when it comes down to vote, the same motherfuckers that you got in your room, you're gonna go with them because of the game, and then still try to you and then you wonder why he hasn't been back on.
Right, because that's the only season he was on.
I mean, in his defense, I haven't been back on either, but I have been an alternate on All Stars, and I was there. I was on site. I just didn't get cast, but I got paid. But at the same time, it's like ain't nobody hit him up about shit. So but it's not even a compare and contrast about who's better or who's worse. That play was just it was dumb, and it was not dumb because. And let me go, like I said, let me be transparent. This is why I do these things. It's not dumb because he didn't go with the black guy. He didn't go with the black guy's opinion because the black guy had been on there before him and blah, 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 blah. It's not about that. It's about the fact that you are the black guy. And the people that you went with, not that they're not black, but our numbers are against us versus the ones. You see where I'm going.
Right.
My thing is sit down and think just a little bit longer before you make these decisions as far as something that might seem as simple as a vote on a reality show that might be a vote to get you a little bit further in your life that could change your entire fucking life.
Right. That's true. That's facts. So
that's the part that pisses me off. So I'm good.
There you have it. You have the Swift incident from Freak Agents for sure. So
he's no Swift's good people. Swift's good people, man. Like I said, he's personally done nothing to me. I feel like he just made a wrong chess play in a game that was really checkers.
Right. Literally. There you go. And then what is that noise? Okay. So
they couldn't get it. They're cooking in the front.
Okay. I was like, well, I know that ain't me. I was like, no, that's not me.
Cool. Oh man, these things are actually pretty damn good. These were a gift. I was like, man, my AirPods ain't gonna work on.
Oh yeah, they lovely. Especially you answered one of my fan questions with Shuni. Shuni, shouts out to you.
What's up, Shuni?
We were talking about All Stars, and she was definitely wondering if you was an alternate on All Stars. Did you get a call prior to All Stars for any of the other challenges?
I did. Actually, let me see if they can you still hear that?
Yeah, I can still hear it.
Okay, so are you gonna edit this? Because I can step out and see. Okay, so my bad. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, I was contacted about a couple of seasons. I think like right after, not the one right after Free Agents. I think it was the one after that, and then the one after that.
Okay, because you had Rivals 2.
Yeah, so I had Free Agents 2. I had Rivals. I had Battle of the Seasons. I had Free Agents. No, Free Agents 2, Rivals, Battle of the Seasons. What's the other two? I had 5 total.
Right. How did you and Ty not get further than what y'all were? Okay, let's talk about that for a second, because I want to talk about the.
Are we gonna get to Camilla, or do you want to do Ty?
Let's do Rivals 2 first, and then we'll get to Camilla, because I got a question on a whole nother. We're gonna go to a whole nother season before we get to Camilla. Elimination. You're going against Wes and Kenny. Ty,
I still have dreams about this. I can, yeah. Go ahead.
Second time, you gassed out. I mean, you climbed the rope the first time.
I'd never done that in my life. I'd never, like, rope climb was not even in school. Like, I'd never, like, even a pole, a rope, or nothing. I'd never done that a day in my life. I just did that off of that first one. I did it off of adrenaline, and I did it off of, just being, like, literally just being scared. And then even with that being said, the rules weren't really expressed or communicated that clearly, because I beat everybody.
Right.
I beat Kenny, I beat my partner, and I beat Wes.
Right.
I didn't know what was going on. So I wasted some energy as I'm sitting up there, rang the bell, rang it again, and it doesn't show, but it showed me ring it the first time. I'm just like, so I'll just slide back down and like, okay, but then Wes beats Ty.
Right.
So then they're like, okay, now we have to have a runoff. And I'm like, because even some of the people, like even some of my cast members, like even Jim was like, wait, Brandon won. He won. Like, what? They won, right? Had I had more stamina, I could have been the talk of the town. I could have been the person that knocked off Kenny and Wes.
That would have changed the game completely.
But I technically did, though. Yeah. I did.
Yeah, because
I did. I'm the only person that can say I did.
Yeah, and even though the record doesn't show it, but you did, because I mean, it's like, okay, they made it, the way they edited it made it look like y'all supposed to have, okay,
a 1-1 or 2-1.
Right.
They didn't say that at the beginning, though. They didn't. It was weird. Like, a lot of people were confused, and you can even see it in the comments on that clip. I don't even know what that clip is anymore. But I I was so mad. Like I was like, man, like, and they were rushing us to get back to do it again, to
Mhm.
do the second round. And even Wes was like, man, I thought you was gonna give me like on that second because you killed it on that first one.
Right.
But I shot my load, like as they say.
Right.
I shot my load on that first one, and I didn't know what I was doing, so everything was going after the first one. I thought I just needed to win.
Right.
But then you also have to factor in this. What did Ty do?
Absolutely nothing for real. If you think about it, nothing. You was the one that had to won the whole thing for real. So it was all on you, man. So that's facts though. But he's just, I don't know. He's just built different. He could be on steroids at that time or something. I don't know. But
No, he wasn't because he got on. So let's double back because we skipped Camilla, but we can go. Ty ties in. This is a great transition. Ty ties into this one
right.
where back to Cutthroat. So we can get to that Camilla issue. I know where we're gonna go with that.
Right.
But even with that, how me and Ty became rivals, we had
Oh yeah,
slight,
on Cutthroat. Yeah, I remember that.
slight little argument, nothing crazy. I was just tired of him talking shit, and he was talking shit to Luke, and we were all drinking. And then
Yeah.
a little known fact, we might have been doing a little bit more than drinking, which you're not allowed to do on the show. But we found some people when they let us go out to do some stuff that's legal now. But I didn't say anything specific, so yeah, sue me. So we're feeling good, and then Ty starts going on his little rant, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
I'm just tired of. I hate motherfuckers that do shit like that. So anyway, we go back and forth. Nothing really happens until Johnny comes out and is on some like grabbing my arm type shit, and I'm like, whoa, you can get it. I can't wait to push you down these stairs. Like it's like what, why are you? I know that's your teammate and all that. But chill out. Man, it has nothing to do with you. You don't even know how this shit started. But
Right.
that shit gets pushed back. And then I beat Ty. So then you see all of these scenarios of Ty gassed out.
Yeah.
Brandon got lucky.
Right.
Ty was okay. How about I go along with that?
Right.
Whose fault is that? Ty is 6'2". I'm 5'8" on a good day.
Mm-hmm.
And Ty, he at the time was ripped up, and
Right.
And I mean, I wasn't bad. I mean, shit, I just didn't have my shirt off all the time, but I wasn't bad. But I'm just saying, like, then if you got beat, you got beat.
Right.
Why are you making an excuse? And then not only did you get beat, you got put in an ambulance.
Oh yeah. I
Let's not forget that part.
Yeah, he definitely, he definitely was done. I said,
hey, and do you remember the part where I gave him some water? That wasn't me
Yeah.
being nice. That was me being a passive aggressive asshole.
I
Go
would have
back
did
and
the
watch
same
the
thing.
footage.
I'm definitely gonna do that.
I say, you good? You need some water? Hey, get him some water. And I literally set it by him as he's
Right.
in the spirit of the game. I gotta do that because I'm not gonna be in your face barking. I like to let the play talk, and then I can give you a little
Right.
icing on the cake. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, don't get it twisted. I won, he lost.
Right.
And it wasn't on a technicality, and it wasn't on a fucking DQ. It
Right.
was on some you got beat. Because who won the first point? Who won the first point?
You did.
No. He did.
Oh, he did. I don't remember
You
that.
pushed me back into the barrel. He beat me
Oh,
on
that's
the first
right.
point.
That's
And
right.
everybody thought it was over. They thought it
Right.
was over.
But
But
it
then when I
wasn't.
come back and win, and the one thing they don't know is that shit lasted for like 2 hours. They
Really?
make it seem like, oh, well, he gassed out, and no,
Right.
okay, and I'll give Derek Chavez so much credit as well. The first elimination that I did on Cutthroat, when we had the rings or whatever,
Right.
that shit lasted for like 3 hours.
Really?
And it was cold, and the rings that we had were like stretchy, so you would think you would have it, and then you wouldn't. You had to snap it out of their hand, but you couldn't. You could only use one hand at a time. Man, Derek's the homie, man. Like that motherfucker, like he's good people, man. But at the same time, it's like people watch the edit and they're like, oh, Brandon got lucky. Lucky? Man. Okay. So watch this though. People don't put two and two together. So if I'm so lucky, what was the next season? Rivals 2. No, it was just Rivals, right?
That's right, regular Rivals, right.
First Rivals for the challenge, right?
Right.
And what did we do in the challenge?
Which one? What you talking about?
No. What did we do in the elimination? What did we do in the elimination?
Oh, y'all did the rope. The rope. What was it called? The rope.
Who finished?
You did.
So I got 2 seasons in a row where I'm still whooping this nigga's ass, and people are still saying that, oh, I got lucky. Man, kiss my ass, suck my dick from the back. Like, I'm getting competitive again. I'm back in the gym, baby. Hey, don't edit that out.
I'm not editing that out at all because I'm loving this, man. Loving it. Yes. But
I can't stand motherfuckers that act like they don't see the fucking paint on the wall,
man. Right. They don't want to give you no credit at all and shoot you down. So
I don't need the credit. I just need the facts.
Yeah, the facts is what's on the field. You just haven't got the right luck that went your way to actually win one of these things. So definitely, I see what Darrell was saying when he said it's luck. Some of it's luck, because I was like, dude,
some of it is,
and I was like, some of it is. Yeah, and I'm just like, I get it now, because watching Ashley, millionaire Ashley, she got lucky. You won two. She got lucky.
And see, the thing about her is like, I have nothing against her. I might have seen a couple of episodes, whatever. And I'll tell you this: if I'm not on a season, I don't watch it. Like I have too much shit to do. I got 2 kids. It's not that big of a deal for me. Like if I get picked up again, if they're like, okay, we're working on something, then I might start doing some research. But I heard some things about her. Of course, I still talk to a couple of people and they'll be like, oh, how did she? And then people will tout her as, one of the greats or one of the, if you're a winner, you're a winner.
Right.
Right. But check this out. So you watched, this is me being petty. You watched, what was that documentary that Michael Jordan did?
Yes, I did. I did see that.
What's the name of it?
What was the name of it? The Dream? No, Save the Last Dance.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
Save the
I'm more football than I am basketball. Yeah. But okay, so you know what happens, and even in football, you know what happens, right? So let's say, or maybe a better analogy, we could even go to this year's Super Bowl.
Okay.
So when the Rams won, right?
Yes.
The Rams won. Stafford, quarterback, and then what's the man? Cup, which I envy because we're about the same size. Oh, he's a little bit bigger than me, but like I feel like, man, I could have been that guy.
Yeah.
So that whole organization wins, right?
Yeah.
And by that I mean, everybody that's on the payroll for the Los Angeles Rams gets what?
A Super Bowl ring. Right.
Just because you got to that point and then got pushed across without, I'm not saying that you didn't contribute, them towels, them clean jerseys, that painted field, that sound system, that Gatorade, that water, that whatever the fuck, it all comes into a point. Until you do it by your fucking self, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. So when people are talking about, $1 million or so won or blah, 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 look how they won. Mm-hmm. But then some folks can argue as well, which I'll take this argument as well. But they won. Okay. Yeah, they were a part of a system that won.
Right.
I'm more concerned about the contribution. But I will nod my head to the fact that you can do this.
Yeah.
And I can't. I'm okay with that. I was still there for it. It's just like, the Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal.
Right.
Charles is a Hall of Famer.
Right. Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq's a Hall of Famer.
Right.
Shaq has 4.
Yep, 4 rings. Charles Barkley.
And then Charles has 0.
Right.
We know both of their names though, don't we?
Yep, we sure do.
And they're both in the Hall of Fame.
Yep, 100%.
So yeah, because I mean, you're still going to talk about Leroy.
Oh yeah, Leroy. If you look at
that's my brother.
Yes, that's the dude.
Real. I can call him right now. He'll answer the phone. Oh wait. So and this is another dynamic I want to get into about us being represented. And we'll get back to the Camilla thing, and we got to touch on that for the Cutthroat thing. But with Leroy, Darrell, Nehemiah, Cyrus, Tyree. I'm talking about Big Tyree, not.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
I call him the real Tyree.
Yeah.
The other one I call Ty. Right. But, no disrespect to anybody. Latarian now coming through. Tech, everybody knows Tech, but as far, I haven't even gotten through my second hand.
Right.
Darrell's the only one that's won one.
Yeah, about 4.
Leroy's gotten close.
He actually should have won that last challenge that CT won. His partner had a reason why he didn't win. So,
but they.
I know they tight, but Leroy could have had his.
No, I was talking about Leroy and CT. Who's his partner?
When
you said partner, I thought about Cam.
No, not Cam, because Cam was there, but she came in third. He came in first, but his partner didn't get there in enough time. So
I haven't seen it.
You got to sit and watch it because Leroy should have actually won it.
Okay.
But he didn't. It was CT and Amber who won because Amber got there first. Nani didn't get there, and that's what cost Leroy the championship that year. And I was like, man, he was so close. He had it, but the whole partner switch up was the mess up because him and Casey could have actually won that season if he had Casey. But she ended up getting Messy Fessy, who cost her.
I keep hearing this dude's name, and I have no idea who this dude is.
Sit down and watch him because I can't stand Fessy. He's like Zach.
I keep hearing that as well. Yeah. I have no idea who this dude is. I gotta see who he is.
Yes, because I can't stand Fessy. I'm like, I ain't got time. I don't see him winning at all. I had him winning at least one season, and he didn't even come close. He made it to the final, but he can't even get to first or second. He's gonna get you third.
One thing I did hear about him though is that he's just there for the FaceTime. He's not really there to compete. He doesn't care about competing and winning. He just wants to get as much FaceTime as he can, and then maybe he can flip that into some other stuff. Because a lot of people do that. But anyway, I don't want to talk about folks I don't know.
Right. So, and that's interesting. But Leroy should have won that season, in my opinion. But I'm glad to see the CT win it because I'm huge fans of both. But
CT good people, man.
Oh yeah. I met him one time. Just one time. It was when I was in college. So definitely that. I want to take it to this since we are already on subject. Dirty 30 comes around.
Yeah, bro. Hold on one second. Give me 10 seconds. Hold on.
All right, 10 seconds.
Hold on, because I gotta. Because my phone is. I gotta put the little extra charger in there. All right. We're back on battery.
Yes, sir. So I want to bring this up because I did hear this on Page's podcast, and I found some new intel when you were talking about Camilla, and I said I did not know that. I did not know that this could have actually came a long time ago before the whole Leroy incident happened.
At the beginning.
So we got to talk about this, brother, because everybody's seen it. Everybody know Camilla went off while she was drunk at Leroy, and she came to. I got to applaud Leroy, number one, for standing his ground, not reacting to what she was saying, because that could have easily been a retaliation from what that. But he gave people like me something to look at and say, okay, you don't even have to respond to it, even though he was hurt by it. But that spoke volumes about his character by standing his ground. But I want to hear this incident back in the day, because I'm like, this ain't the first time this has happened. This has actually happened before. What happened during your time when this went down?
Well, you got to talk about a couple of things. You got to talk about edit, and you also got to talk about where we were at the time, which really, I mean, neither of those previous statements are any excuse as to how she or what she said or even what she meant, because nobody really knows. Because the thing about Camila, you know, her name is Camila Nakagawa, but she's actually Brazilian, but she's adopted. And she went to school in Nebraska.
Oh,
okay. So she got three things that are like, but she doesn't have three excuses. I will say that. Keep that. I feel like that was a good bar. Yeah, anyway. But so what I will say is, so whenever we were getting, you know, basically, and this sounds so bad now looking back on it, because it's like we were getting drafted, because it's like now we're slaves. No, fucking with you. So I was second to last pick, or third to last pick. Right. I'm not sure. And I don't know. I do know why, but yeah, I'm gonna leave that. That's a whole man. So what she said, and it's on air. It's on the episode that you can go back and look at. It says we need a little bit more color to our team.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. I do.
So I'm gonna go with Brandon. Right. And if you see my face, I literally just shake my head and roll my eyes and halfway smirk and just keep it a buck. And I'm like, all right, because I'm like, this chick doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about, you know, whatever. And so that was light. You know, I didn't think twice about it, because I'm thinking, you know, she's just trying to be funny, or right. Or she's just really ignorant and doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about, which I think a lot of that has to go with how she was raised. I think a lot of it goes back to ignorance. She just didn't know. But as you get older, you fucking know, especially if you went to school at the University of Nebraska. Right. And where that race line is very prominent, because I grew up in Arkansas. So if you know what people don't like and you know what people do like, right, you're gonna know, especially if you're not on the part of the people that don't like it. Right. Because she doesn't look like us, you know, so she can kind of get away with the other shit if she claims that part. Not even claiming that part, but just cool with that part. You know, a lot of people do that, and we can talk about that. That could be a whole nother podcast. Right. So so that was the first time that it happened on the same season. So there was one night, and Chet can even you know, give me some, you can alibi me on this one. We were in the house on Cutthroat, and she was drunk, and people were talking shit about something, and she said, it wasn't even I don't even think it was something negative, but she was like, okay, nigga, or something. I know she said nigga, and everybody was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then Chet was like I don't know who else said anything, so I don't want to just like make him the savior. But like, you don't say that. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you know, something like that. And she was like, no, it wasn't like that. I didn't. And try to, you know, kind of make up. And then I did get pulled to the side by a producer, and they were like, you good? And I was like, man, I'm from Arkansas. And this is my second season. So this is what I talked about too on the previous podcast. Right. Let me see, it was me and Ty. Mm-hmm. Who else was black on Cutthroat?
Oh, Cutthroat. It was just you, Ty, and I think that was it.
Yeah.
Just y'all two.
And that was my second season.
Yeah.
So in that systematic bullshit of just don't fuck up your opportunity, I was in the mindset of, Hey man, I'm from Arkansas. I've seen worse. I've been called worse. Fuck it, whatever. Let it be. She don't know what she's talking about. And they were like, okay, okay, okay. Didn't make air. Swept it under the rug. Kept it moving. And that was that. The rest of the season gets going. I still get thrown in every fucking elimination. Win, come back. Win, come back. Finally get beat. Get sent home. Nothing's ever said about it again until. I mean, little things had gotten said about it before Leroy blew it up, and good on him. But it was definitely a thing, and it definitely did come up. But the thing that I did talk about with Paige was like a big reason why, and it happened before Leroy, before it made air. It had happened before as well. Even with him, I believe, or with other people. But it was just like like that's my biggest issue is the core. I was gonna go to the nucleus of everything. So it's like that's why I'm happy for him and I'm proud of him, because it's like, why don't we say anything? I know why. We don't want to fuck up our opportunity to be on TV. You know why?
Right.
We don't have numbers.
No.
Like, that's why I asked you, how many was on it? 2?
Right. That was it.
1 here, 2 there.
Right.
Oh, throw a black girl in there to make it okay. Oh, you got an Asian in there. All right, cool. Throw a gay Mexican in there. All right. Yeah. Then we got this covered. But then the other 20 people are white.
Right.
So and that's the thing. So that's why a lot of things aren't addressed. That's why a lot of things aren't talked about. And it's fucked up, to be, for lack of better terms. But that's why I didn't say anything in the first place. Because like me, the way I was raised, especially in the South, was like, unless you go and do something, and by do something, I mean do something.
Right.
Your words ain't shit to me.
Right.
Or I can make them a lot. But if I don't finish the job, then I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble unless I do it the right way. Right. So that's just the truth of it. Nobody's wrong in this. It's just now being highlighted, but it's been there. But see, it goes back, like this is just macro of the micro. So the micro is that this has always been going on. It's just now, it's just like with when police had to start getting body cams.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because
that's like me running to you and being like, yo, this happened and the police did this and that. But they're the police, they wouldn't do that. They would shut the fuck up. Right. Then it's like, oh, then you got somebody with a phone and you're like, oh shit. They're like, oh damn, okay, now we gotta get body cams on y'all. That way we gotta just have this, because people with the phones is getting shot too. So now it's like, all right, cool. We'll put it on y'all, that way they can't say that. And they still doing the same shit. Yeah. Think about somebody that doesn't even have that type of it's man. I could go on, but yeah. But anyway, back to the show. Yeah. Think about somebody that just doesn't give a fuck. Think about somebody that doesn't have that responsibility, or anybody to report to, or you still have some people like that that'll be on camera like, all right, what are you gonna do? Right. Like, wait, what? I'm licensed. I'll blow your fucking head off. Right. Like, don't fuck with me. I got kids. Like, for real. Like, all right, we're not playing that game. But it's like, you really feel that way just because of. So, but yeah, that could have been addressed even before me. That could have been addressed a long time ago.
Right, and it should have been addressed a long time ago. Because now,
but you know what? But this
that money, yeah, and that's all it boils down to, is the money. And especially, I kind of saw how it works when I did got a peek of Hollywood, and I was like, okay, this is how they really actually do it. It's all stereotypes, and a lot of people don't understand that. And I said they doing that because they know that that's how the reel you in. And I'm just like, okay, now I understand the tricks of the trades now. And I tell people all the time, Hollywood are 2 smoke and mirrors. What you think is real is really not real. It's actually a figment of your imagination.
Yeah.
So that's
so watch this though. Watch this. I think the next interview that you have, just see the difference between ours and the next one with somebody that looks like me. And I'm gonna put that out there, and you can leave that up. I'm just look at the difference, because I was about to say I don't care, but the problem is I do care. so I'm gonna say something. Feel me?
Yeah.
So just watch the, because you gonna get the smiling teeth and the, oh, I just, my second season, my third season, and yeah, we went down to Turkey, and I'm not give a fuck about none of that, man. Like, how are you representing yourself to the masses? And like, if that's not what you're trying to do, that's fine. You can say straight up to my face, hey, guess what, Brandon? We look alike, but I'm a pawn. I'm only concerned about the check. And I'll be like, guess what? That's great. I'm not gonna send you a Christmas card this week. So it's not like I hate you. I'm just like, all right, cool. You can go sit over here in this pile, and then I continue to deal with my shit. But watch, I'm telling you, man, don't take this out. I'm telling you, it's just, I'm in a different zone right now because I'm like, man, and not that I'm fighting some fight that, hasn't been, initiated today. Like, it's known. It's just that now that we do have, because my girl gave me this, I have this ring light on my phone. Like, she just gave it to me right now. I'm like, damn, it's just bright. I said, I know to go into the bathroom because the acoustics are great. She's like, no, use this. It's been in my box for like 6 months. I just never use it. Put some batteries in it. I'm like, what the fuck? All right, I could have been making some cooking videos a long time ago, not having to talk to people. But I'm just saying, man, don't get fooled by the hype, man. Like, I'm like I said, I got more stories. Like, dude, when I tell you I got stories about the challenge and the people that I've dealt with and the people that I like and the people I don't like, we could do this
Give me
all
a
day
story
long.
that a person that you don't like. I want to hear this. We're gonna do one that you don't like and one we do like.
A person that I don't like and a person that I do like. Well, that's hard because it's hard for me not to like you. And I will say that because I know everybody's flawed. So I'll definitely go with that. I just hate people that make up shit for their truth, if that makes sense. If you just an asshole, then you just a fucking asshole. Like, just be that. Like, that's you. If you like, don't fucking, well, I was just doing this because of this or doing this because of that, blah, blah. So to be totally honest, I'll say Sarah. Sarah is somebody that I liked, and now I do not. Well, I like I said, I'm not gonna say I don't like her. I haven't talked to her in years. But the person that I met is not the person that came to be.
Oh, okay.
And that could just be because of conversations that we had, and she changed outside of us having conversations. Like I said, we don't talk like that. Jimmy would be another. Me and Jimmy were tight. I would never say I don't like Jimmy. So yeah, I mean, to answer your question, I'm answering it wrong. There's nobody I don't like, because I'm in the position of everybody has a second chance, even a third chance. And it's up to them to take that envelope with the chance in it. It's not up to me to do it anymore if I feel like I'm slighted. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's all perspective,
Right.
You might not even know why I'm mad or why I'm, skeptical of, why I'm questioning you. But if you switch it up on me, and it's like, all right, I do have that option to be like, okay, I'm not fucking with you anymore. But it doesn't mean I don't like you. If I see you, I got you. I'm not gonna let you walk into the crosswalk and the bus hit you. I'm gonna grab you. Right. At the same time, anybody can get that. It doesn't mean I'm doing it, specifically for you. But as far as people that I do like, oh man, Melinda, Cara Maria, Sandy, Noor, Leroy, of course, CT, Zag, Derek, both Dereks.
Oh yeah.
Man, I feel like I'm missing names. Carly, pretty much my whole freshman cast on my side anyway. Luke, who else? Me, Jen. No, me and Jen were pretty tight for a minute. Paula, Emily Fitzpatrick, I love her to death. Um, damn, I still do like Jimmy. Just not as happy with her as I was before.
Why is that? Did she
No, it's
change?
just we just
Did
nothing
she
crazy.
change, or did she acts funny, or what?
I
What?
think she changed a little bit, but that has nothing to do with me. I mean, that's just
Right.
evolving. We used to talk a lot, and then we didn't. I don't know what happened, and we just didn't talk like for months. And then she got into her other ventures or whatever. So like she's doing a thing, and that's pretty much it. So when I saw her when I saw her when I was in Mexico, actually. When we
Okay.
were alternates for season 2 of All Stars, actually.
Okay. Okay.
And we ran into each other. We were in the same, resort. And because of COVID and stuff, we couldn't really just be around each other that much,
Right.
Like it would just be like if the producer said we could hang out by the pool, or if we could hang out in our rooms, if we wanted to. Most of the time, I was just in the room. Like I was just
I would have snuck out. It was no way I'm sitting in the room by
No,
myself.
we had security. We had security. We had security.
Oh,
You could call anybody, and we could like do like video and stuff. But I was like, I'm not worried about that. But then they would give you any food you wanted. This isn't like, dude, like I gained weight while I was there. Like I'm like,
okay.
let me get some crab legs. Cool.
Yeah, that wasn't like boom.
Bring that on down over here. And I kept trying to, I kept trying to find weed, but that didn't work. So I'm just saying, like, man, if y'all can just get me some weed and
Right.
all the crab legs, I would be cool for how many days in the be.
Right.
But nah, man, everybody was cool, man. And then yeah, who am I missing? I'm missing some people, man. I do this all the time, anytime I do
What
kind of
what's your story with Knight? Because you said you was gonna share a story about Knight.
oh man. So my boy Knight, Ryan, yeah, he so we met on what Battle of the Seasons.
Right.
And then we didn't meet there, but we talked prior, but we
Oh,
got together on that one. And then we got tight really quick. I did another little thing where I got some wait, was that was Battle of the Seasons, wasn't it?
yeah. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
on
it's
that
Battle of the
scene.
Season. Yeah, so that's what I did when we had to do our opening, because we were there for a little bit longer prior to us doing the first challenge that I was drunk on. But I still had that bottle in my bag. But the thing about it is, oh yeah, I remember this story. This is a great story. So when we get done with it, of course we come in last because Easy can't even climb up the fucking ladder.
Right.
And then so they're like, you're safe, we're not gonna vote you in. Other people are talking to me and stuff. I'm like, I know I'm not fucking going in on the first night. Fuck you. I'll beat everybody up in here. Like bullshit. So, but then we had to pick a girl, so we had to do it. And then who went in with him? Was it Camilla or Cara?
I think that was Camilla. Was that the first one? I think she was the first one because I know Carl went in at one point with you, and y'all
Yeah,
ended up
me and Cara
losing.
we got
Yeah.
eliminated. So
Yeah.
it might have been Camilla. That's why, yeah. So anyway, everybody gets back, and then I still got like a third of that bottle. And then Night had just got done doing spring break in South Padre, where I had done spring break prior to that, but I couldn't get down there. And he's like, "You're supposed to be there. You're supposed to be my boy." Blah 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 blah. And we're talking and stuff, and then so then we got like super tight, man. So we were just be kicking it and stuff. But the thing about it is, because we came in late, me, Camilla, Cara, and Big Easy, we had to go do our opening shots for the opening teaser the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
So they came and got us, and we did our opening shots or whatever. And then on the way back, this wasn't the bathroom store. This is another story. No, but we anyway, we ended up stopping somewhere. No, we stopped at Burger King. I remember we stopped at Burger King. Burger King had a little thing on the backside, had a little convenience store that had a liquor store on it. So I went and got another bottle of vodka and put it in my backpack. Because this is before we did, actually after we did the first challenge. Because the first challenge is when I got the first one.
Okay. And
So
so you got
yeah,
two. So you went and got another bottle of vodka.
yeah, got another one. Yeah. So I come back, and then because at this point at the house, like they had limitations on wine and hard liquor. Like they weren't gonna give us like once it was gone, it was gone. Like they because people was messing up and doing stupid stuff and
Mhm.
whatever. So we do our opening shots, and the shot that you see on Battle of the Seasons, where we're doing this shit or I'm doing this shit or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
That's that same day. So we do that, and then they take us back to the house, and it's like a winding little road, like it's right off the water and stuff. So once we get back to the house, everybody's just chilling because we still got another day and a half to the next challenge. So we only do challenges on Mondays and Thursdays. And this was
Mhm.
like on a Monday afternoon. So we still had Tuesday, Wednesday before we had to do
Oh.
anything on Thursday.
Oh. Okay.
So as soon as we get back, the only other rooms that were left were at the pool house at the bottom of like this hill that was on the back side of the property of this mansion we were living in Turkey. So
Mhm.
that's the only place that the new team could stay in because everybody else was already there.
Okay.
So as soon as we get in, we have to walk through like the main hall or whatever, and nobody's worried about us. They're not really filming or anything. We're always filming, but so I go hit night. I'm like, yo, come down to the pool house with me real quick. So we go down to the pool house, and then I opened my bag. He was like, my man. And then we take a few shots or whatever, and then so now we're super cool. So then like after that season, we do the next spring break or whatever. So we link back up in South Padre. We were talking back and forth between that. So we do that next spring break. We're literally there for a month.
Mhm.
Um, that shit was fucking crazy. And that's when me and Jimmy got cool too. Like me, Jimmy, and Knight would talk. Knight was talking to some other girl or whatever. And
Mhm.
I was, figuring out my life. But I was pretty light though. I wasn't too heavy into anything. So get out of that. Um, funny story about being on spring break with Knight. Nothing
Uh-huh.
too crazy happened, but like one morning I'm getting up because we would have to go and check people in
Mhm.
um, as they would come in on buses or whatever. And then I'm in the shower. He comes in, he just walks in like, "Yo, you almost ready?" I'm like, "Yeah." This motherfucker gets into the shower with me. He was like, "Just want to see what a black dick looked like," and just shuts the door and walks out. I'm like, "What the fuck are you?"
Night. I could see Night doing that. That's crazy.
I'm
He's
like, "What are you doing?" Like, yo, I'm not playing. So anyway, get done with all that. And then I knew he was having some problems because on the back end of the trip,
uh-huh.
he started like we had some real conversations. I wish I was more in tune and more locked into what he was going through or whatever. But he was really good about playing things off and joking about stuff and making it seem like it wasn't that big of a deal. But he definitely, looking back on it, there was some signs, and I always say, I fuck with you, whatever. And he would always be, ah man, you cool, you too pretty to you're the pretty guy. I'm like, whatever. So I would say, so I get back home, I get back to work and this and that. And then Melinda called me
Mhm.
and she was like, I thought she was calling about a show. So anytime you get a call from another castmate, well, she's not a castmate, she's a friend, she's family. But you get a call from somebody and you're like, oh, they're probably talking about, did you get a call from the show? Are you available? Like all those, And I answered the phone like, yo, what's happening? You got a call? And she was like, no, Knight's dead. I said, what? And she's like, no, Knight passed away. This was Thanksgiving. Well, not that. Oh yeah, it was Thanksgiving. And then it's like, okay. So then there's a long silence,
Right.
and then it's like, okay, well, what happened? Because my first thing is like, who am I gonna go shoot?
Mm-hmm.
But she's like, no, he was with his friends and they partied and I don't. This is not verbatim, so I'm not putting this in her mouth like that. But he just didn't wake up the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay. So I get a couple more phone calls, and then I call some people, and then we figure out a way to get out there for his service in the next few days, and then we go out there, and my first time meeting his parents.
Mm-hmm.
It was it was cool. At the same time, like I said, I like to be very transparent. It was like it was surprising, but it wasn't at the same time with the way that he lived.
Mm-hmm.
He was full throttle, man. So with that being said, if he had your back, he had your back, and he had my back. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. But yeah, he's man, like I love that because he only like that next time that we had gone to not next time, but the only time we did the event for spring break, he only wanted me to be his roommate. He's like, I only want Brandon. And this was after we did Battle of the Seasons. But he was like, yeah, I only want Brandon to be my roommate. So because when I first got there, he was and this is funny too, he was with Nick Brown. I'm not even gonna talk about that because he fucking roasted the shit.
Good old night. Yeah, that's man.
Yeah.
That was deep. Yeah. And the crazy thing about it is I remember that's the same time DM passed away too. It wasn't too far.
I never got to meet her in person.
You never did?
No.
Really?
I didn't.
Interesting.
Heard great things about her. I heard she actually we had some messages between each other about like a giveaway or something like that, like as far as jerseys and stuff like that for charity. But we never met in person. No.
I thought y'all was on the season together. I had to go back and look at that again because I thought y'all was on the season together. That's interesting.
Nah, me and DM were never on the season. And here's the thing too, and I'm not gonna say nobody's names, but I get tired of motherfuckers that be, and I'm not even like on some like, now I'll ride on that night shit, but for motherfuckers that be on some like DM shit, that shit is like, and I'll explain in a second, but it really irks the fuck out of me that ride on it like they really knew her or like they were really with her or like they met her, there was on a show with her, even if they were on a show with her, like they really fucked with her. That shit is like really goofy to me. Like, and it's like some shit that'll get you fucked up because even though I never met her in person, there was some communication and but at the same time, like you don't play with stuff like that.
Right.
Like you don't, but there's some folks, there's some new folks that have, and there's some old folks that act like. So I'm just gonna leave that right there.
Right.
Whoever's watching, I'm sure y'all. I love the internet because you can do your research and you'll go find it, and then I ain't gotta say nothing. Right. That shit irks the fuck out of me, man. But like with Night, I slept right next to this guy, man. So. And that's the only thing I'll speak on about that. I love Night. I still love Jimmy too, even, but that's something I'll never speak about. And there's nothing to speak about. I'm just saying. Just because of that connection, you know what I'm saying? But,
right. Yeah. So, All Stars. Are we going to ever see you on All Stars?
Man, I hope so. I mean, I sat down there for 2 weeks and
Have they called you back recently?
They not recently. They called me back for the next one. They called me back for that third one. He's asking if I was available. Never got picked up. So
Well, hopefully you'll be picked up in the future because I'm interested to see how it all plays out. Because everybody's coming back, and I'm just like, especially Nehemiah. I can't wait to see him if he's on season 3. I don't know if he's on season 3 or not. I'm not gonna speak on that, even though I know the answer to the question. I'm not even gonna give anything away, but I would
I
like to
don't know
see
nothing about nothing.
that brother on another season because
No,
I'm hearing
Nehemiah's
some
good people,
stuff.
man.
Yeah.
He means well, man. Nehemiah's good people.
Yes, good people. That's my brother. Hey, shouts out to Nehemiah. Save the Palace. All his stuff is out there. Definitely got to pick
Yeah,
up
it's a
his
good
shirt.
jam, man. I've
Yeah,
been listening to it, man. It's a
yeah,
good jam. You should
yeah.
have hollered at me on that, man. Actually, while I have you on here, don't take this out either, man. Go to CaliRockENT.com. Also at PZBLIVE at PZB Live on all social media platforms. I'm her manager. I've been knowing her forever. I need everybody to go download her music or just go look at what you like. Like I'm telling you, man, this girl does it all. Like it is like she makes her own beats. She is the tour manager and director and
Oh, okay.
DJ for Eric B and Rakim.
Mm-hmm.
She just dropped an album. I've been knowing her, more than half my life. Like I'm just happy to be involved in what we got going on right now. It's about to blow up, so I want folks to be on the ground floor of it. So I'm not even worried. Like you can, I'm not worried about me. I can help with my little platform. I can help with hers, but I'm telling you, man, like it's about to be a thing. So it already is a thing. But PZB Live, PZB,
ZB
like
Live.
literally, yeah, PZB Live. Go follow on Instagram,
Yeah.
um, especially on TikTok, everything, man. Like all social media platforms, man. It's a good thing. I'm excited about what we got going on. I've been, having some conversations with people, so
Yes,
it's gonna be good.
TikTok has been definitely a fun addition because I got TikTok, so I've been kind of playing with it. So if you want to see a really cool video with Save the Palace on, go check my TikTok out at Robert Stewart Jr. too. That's where you'll find
Yeah,
me.
let me know because
Yeah,
I only have 4 videos on TikTok that PZ
yeah, I
actually
saw
made
that.
for me. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, just send me a message or I'll follow you right back. I don't know if I did or not already, but I'll get on that. I'm not the one of the people that's like, oh, I have one follower and a million. I follow one person and then a million followers are following me. Like if you follow me and I know you, I'm gonna follow you right back. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely you on my thing because I'm following you. I saw those 4 videos you talking about too. I was like, that's
Yeah,
pretty
like I said,
cool.
I'm just I'm trying to get the business side taken care of. You feel me? So, but
Yeah.
yeah, just shoot me a message or whatever. That way I can see exactly and then I'll follow you right back in just a second. But yeah, I got you.
Yeah, definitely that.
But definitely push Peasy though, because it's man, like she just got done. She did a Super Bowl party that was sponsored by the NFL. It wasn't just like a random Super Bowl party in LA. Like it
Mhm.
was the official NFL that brought her in, and she did the after party for the NFL Super Bowl, and then
Oh, okay.
yeah, like we got direct lines to everybody, man. You name it, man. Like
Yeah, that's pretty tight, man.
no, and every song behind my uh posts, those are
Mhm.
her original songs.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, she
Oh,
makes her
okay.
own. Yeah. She makes her own songs, writes her own music, and then she's like, she is not just a DJ, but when I tell you the best DJ, and when
Hmm.
I'm talking about, we've been around the likes of Jazzy Jeff. We did a show with him months back, well, last year. We're talking about the president, Eric B. We're talking about, what I'm saying? Like she's doing the whole set list for Eric B and Rakim, going on
Oh,
tour with
okay.
them, like doing private parties for LL Cool J, and just well, what song you need, rocking that. Like we'd be down at Broken Bowl. Like it's people be sleeping, man, and it's like we finna this year. It's Yeah, we're gonna be there. We're gonna be
Definitely.
there.
That's what's
Yeah.
up. That's what's up. Definitely. Social media. How can we get in touch with you, Brandon?
How you can get in touch with me on social media? Let's see, Instagram, Brandon D Nelson. Same thing on Twitter, Brandon D Nelson. On let's say, what else I got? Because I'm really not on there a lot. Facebook is Brandon Drake Nelson. Now let's not get this twisted. That's my real name. I'm older than Drake. Let's get that all the way clear.
That's right. He's older than Drake.
I'm older than Drake. So that's my name first. His name is Aubrey. My name is Brandon. His middle name is Drake. My middle name is Drake. His last name is Graham. My last name is Nelson.
There
I
you go.
respect him, and he's one of my favorite artists. But I just need to let you know I'm not one of those people that's like, let me throw this. Nah. I'm Drake first. So Brandon Drake Nelson on Facebook, and then what else? Twitter is Brandon D Nelson as well. All of my handles are Brandon D Nelson. It's except for Facebook. And then do I have anything else? I don't even know if I have anything else. Snapchat. Snapchat is MTV Brandon. I don't even know. I'm rarely on Snapchat, but you can find it if you really want to find it or send nudes. I don't know. Edit that out. Edit that
out. Yeah, I'm gonna edit that, but I'm gonna sit down and look and see what I'm gonna edit out.
Oh,
you can find me at For the Love of the Challenge on Instagram, Robert Lee Jr. 8118 on Instagram. That's my personal page. You will see I've got a lot of fitness stuff going on, and then some other stuff.
Yeah, send me your workout, man. I got to get back on my grind.
Yeah, you got to, man. I'll send you my page and everything so you can see what I'm up to. I'm trying to bench 300 pounds.
Ooh, my max when I was really like after it, when I was playing ball at University of Arkansas, Woo Pig, Sullyville Razorback, 315. My little ass could get I could get 315 up 2 times. But I was at like 182 at the time.
Really? Damn.
Yeah. I was in it every day. I was eating up the whole fridge, but that was like 20 years ago. So
like I'm totally different now. Me, I'm close to it. I'm so close to it. I just need to push to that other half. I said 315 or 300 to probably be my max on the bench.
Yeah, no, you ain't gotta overdo it, man. How old are you?
I'm 39. I know you like 38.
I'm 38. I'm 38.
Yeah. So I'm just a year.
Oh no, we straight, man. You ain't gotta push it to 3. I mean, shit. If you can get 225 4 times, you still in the game.
Yeah, that's easy work, man. That's easy work. I could do 10 because one of my boys. Because one of my boys was like, he was like, hit 10, man. He said, no, I did 6. I said, bump that. I'm done. I said, I could have probably got the 10, but I'm not gonna push it right now today. So, but yeah, I'm still trying to grow, do my thing. I do sporting races too, so I'm getting ready for that, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna do a stadium, but I'm hoping it happens this year. If not, I'm gonna probably end up doing like I did last year, was run a terrain, and it tore my legs up last year, and it's just now my legs are just now getting back to normal. So now I can kind of do deadlifts and all this other stuff now, and I'm just like, okay, I think stadium would be easier because it's easier on my legs. But the terrain that I did was like 6.5 miles, and I was like, and then
I heard that copper stuff helps though. Like those copper wraps for your knees.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I haven't used them. I just heard that they
yeah, I got to get that because I'm like, shoot, I'm getting too old, so I'm like, I gotta push it. I gotta push it because I'm trying to get myself to that next level, which I'm already there. But yeah, I've been doing that for the past few years. I said if MTV ever called me, I'm gonna be ready. So I don't have to be ready. So
I'm telling you, your best bet though, to be totally honest, is I think they're gonna revive Amazing Race, and then Survivor ain't going nowhere. Because the challenge, they be trying to, like, they helped out the people that that has already been on as far as Paramount Plus with the revival of All Stars or whatever, which was originally supposed to be OGs and all that shit. But
Right.
so challenge might not be, but I'm telling you, just look at Survivor, man. Look at Survivor and look at Amazing Race, because Amazing Race is about to come back because I forget his last name, but Louis, I still talk to him every now and then. He's a cop out in on the East Coast, and we still talk.
That's cool.
But he was on Amazing Race like 4 times, and we met at a couple of events. Yeah, no, I know his name, Louis Stravato. If you want to look it up, Louis Stravato. He does the whole gym thing now too. I think he's like 50 something, and he's like, I mean, he's not like ripped the fuck up, but he's in great shape to be 50 plus.
Right.
But yeah, like looking at those, man. And actually, I'll send you a link. Have you ever been on realitywanted.com?
No, what is that?
It's free, and it's all you gotta do is make a profile, and they'll send you casting calls for once you make your profile, whatever you qualify for, they'll send it to see if you like it. But it's called realitywanted.com. It's like super easy. Oh, yeah. I've gotten a couple commercials off of that one. I was on Brain Games on National Geographic for that. I've done a couple commercials out here for that. Like, it's like all you got to do is like once you make your profile, you click it, and if they grab it, they might email you or they'll just call you, and then you call them back if you don't answer, and they'll be like, "Yeah, are you available on this date?" And you go get a quick $650 to go stand in front of the camera.
Yeah, send me that
shirt on.
Yeah, send me that information. What else to say?
Yeah,
I've been in one commercial and I have not seen it yet. Like this is like years ago. It's like,
did you get paid?
Yeah, I got paid for it. It was like, when did I get paid for that? It was like 3 months later, and I'm just like, really, y'all? Because see, what happened was, I was doing NCIS Miami, and so it was supposed to be like a 2-day shoot. So I say, okay, now I'm not gonna do the second day. I'm going over here and do this commercial. I'm thinking I'm getting ready to get this check like the following week. And I'm like, wait a minute, where my money at? And it's like, oh no, you're not getting paid for that until another couple of months. I said, what you mean another couple of months? I said, oh no. And I said, I should have stayed NCIS Miami, to tell you the truth. So
it just depends on what production company it is, because a lot of people get confused because they'll be like, oh, well, this is MTV or this is VH1 or this is like, no, that's not how it works. Production companies sell concepts to the show, they develop the show, and then it's like, all right, so the production company pays you, the network doesn't. They just buy the show and say how much the budget is. Man, they go about their business. The production company is the one that fucks you. So it's just like, all right, yeah. So some production companies are better than others, and then they'll be like, all right, well, shit. If it's just a stand-in part or a non-speaking part, they'll shoot you some cash right there just to get you off the set, or they'll be like, okay, here's a check tomorrow, or do you have direct deposit? I love that one. I'm like,
I do. It's like direct deposit right into your bank. You be like, bloop.
I will take that.
Because I remember one thing I went out on for, it was Melrose Place. I always wanted to be on Melrose. I'll never forget this too. So how I got it was like,
I forgot about this.
Yes, I had got it. I got in the last minute because the dude was like, I called the line. I was on the train in LA, and he was like, okay, we can use you, but you gotta shave your goatee. You gotta shave all that off. I said, shit. I got there. They gave me the shaving cream, everything, and I was like, shit, I don't even want to shave this off. I shaved it off, and I was like, you see me all in there. It was a 2-day shoot. We went there the one day, and then it was like a month later. Was it a month later? It was something, and we returned like weeks later, and we finished the shot. And so when you looking at it, it's like, okay, they look like they did a 1-day shoot. No, that was split up in 2 separate days, and I was like, I'll never forget that. So that was some good times. So definitely some good times, man. So
absolutely.
Yes, Brandon, it was definitely fun having you on this evening. I'm glad we were able to finally link up, especially after the whole mix-up. But I wasn't tripping off that. I said we'll we'll link up. So I'll say thank you
Oh,
for
absolutely.
hitting me back. So I'm gonna close it out like this, and then when I hit stop, then I'll talk to you before you go, man. So here we
Okay.
go. Save the palace. Ooh.